A day of darkness, the crash of the 29. October 29, 1929. This day would forever change the course of American history. Black Tuesday. This date is seared into the memory of America. It was a day when the unthinkable happened and the stock market plummeted. It marked the beginning of the Great Depression, the worst economic downturn in modern history. The financial world was turned upside down. The stock market crashed, wiping out billions of dollars in wealth. Panic gripped the nation. People rushed to banks, desperate to withdraw their savings. The Roaring Twenties, a time of prosperity and optimism, came to a screeching halt. The era of jazz, flappers, and economic boom was over. Millions of Americans lost their jobs, their homes, their savings. The unemployment rate soared, and despair was widespread. The American dream seemed to vanish overnight. Businesses shuttered, and once thriving communities became ghost towns. The Great Depression was a time of immense hardship and suffering. Families struggled to put food on the table. But it was also a time of great resilience and determination. Communities banded together to face the challenges head-on. Americans came together to help one another. They found strength in unity and solidarity. They formed soup kitchens and bread lines. These efforts provided a lifeline for many. They shared what little they had. In the face of adversity, the spirit of community and compassion shone brightly. The Roaring Twenties, a glimmer before the storm. The 1920s, often called the Roaring Twenties, were a time of great economic prosperity and social change in America. Jazz music filled the air, flappers danced the Charleston, the stock market soared to new heights. But beneath the surface of this prosperity, danger lurked. Speculation in the stock market was rampant. Many people bought stocks on margin, borrowing heavily to do so. This created a bubble that was bound to burst. The crash of 1929 exposed the underlying weaknesses of the American economy. Overproduction, underconsumption, and high levels of debt all contributed to the severity of the Depression. The Dust Bowl, nature's cruel hand. As if the economic collapse wasn't enough, nature dealt another blow to the American people. The Dust Bowl, a severe drought that hit the Great Plains in the 1930s, turned once fertile farmland into a wasteland. Dust storms, sometimes called black blizzards, swept across the plains, burying crops and homes under mountains of dust. Thousands of farmers, their livelihoods destroyed, were forced to abandon their land and head west in search of work. The Dust Bowl added to the misery of the Depression years. It forced millions of people off their land and into already overcrowded cities. It was a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human existence. Soup kitchens and bread lines, symbols of despair. The Great Depression brought about scenes of despair that were unimaginable just a few years earlier. Soup kitchens and bread lines became common sights in cities across America. Men, women, and children, many of whom had never known hunger before, stood in line for hours for a meager meal. The shame and desperation on their faces were truly heartbreaking. These images of human suffering became symbols of the Great Depression. They served as a stark reminder of the human cost of economic collapse. Section 5. The New Deal, a Glimmer of Hope. In 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected president, stepping into a nation crippled by the Great Depression. Roosevelt's New Deal programs offered a glimmer of hope to a nation mired in despair, where unemployment and poverty were rampant. These programs, such as the Works Progress Administration, or WPA, aimed to provide jobs and improve infrastructure, and the Civilian Conservation Corps, known as the CCC, focused on environmental conservation and development. Together, these initiatives put millions of Americans back to work, giving them a sense of purpose and dignity. The New Deal didn't end the Great Depression, but it provided a much-needed safety net for millions of Americans struggling to survive. It offered financial assistance, food, and housing support, helping families to stay afloat during these tough times. It also marked a turning point in American history, as the government took unprecedented steps to intervene in the economy. The government, for the first time, took an active role in trying to alleviate the suffering of its citizens, setting a precedent for future social programs. The New Deal was controversial, facing opposition from those who believed it expanded government power too much. But it helped to restore a sense of hope and optimism to the American people, showing them that their government cared. It showed that even in the darkest of times, there was still light at the end of the tunnel, and that collective effort could lead to recovery and renewal. Section 6. The Stories We Tell. Personal accounts of resilience. The Great Depression was a time of immense hardship, but it was also a time of great resilience. Americans came together to help one another. They shared what little they had. They found strength in their communities. One woman who was a child during the Depression recalled, "We were poor, but everybody was poor. We didn't know any different. We were all in it together." Another man who lost his job during the Depression said, "I learned that you can lose everything, but you never lose your dignity." Section 7. The Enduring Legacy, Echoes of the Great Depression. The Great Depression had a profound and lasting impact on American society. It changed the way Americans viewed the role of government. It led to the creation of Social Security and other social safety net programs. The Depression also left an indelible mark on the American psyche. To this day, many Americans harbor a deep-seated fear of economic insecurity. The lessons of the Great Depression are still relevant today. They remind us of the importance of economic fairness, social responsibility, and the need for a strong safety net for those who fall on hard times. Section 8. A Generation Transformed, the Indelible Mark of Hardship. The generation that came of age during the Great Depression is often called the greatest generation. They endured unimaginable hardships, but they emerged from the experience stronger and more resilient. They learned the value of hard work, sacrifice, and community. They went on to fight World War II, rebuild America, and create the greatest economic boom in history. The Great Depression may be a distant memory, but its legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those who lived through it. Section 9. The Lessons We Learned, A Nation Forged in Crisis. The Great Depression was a time of great suffering, but it also taught us valuable lessons about ourselves and our nation. It showed us the importance of unity, resilience, and compassion. It taught us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can overcome any obstacle. It reminded us that we are all connected, and that we have a responsibility to look out for one another. The Great Depression was a defining moment in American history. It shaped who we are as a nation and continues to influence our values and beliefs today. Section 10. Conclusion, the Enduring Spirit of Humanity. The Great Depression was a time of unprecedented hardship, a period marked by widespread unemployment, poverty, and despair. But it also revealed the enduring spirit of humanity, showcasing the strength and resilience of people in the face of adversity. Americans faced adversity with courage, standing tall despite the overwhelming odds, resilience, and compassion. They helped their neighbors, offering support and solidarity in times of need, shared what little they had, ensuring that no one went hungry or felt alone, and never gave up hope, believing in a better future despite the bleak present. The lessons of the Great Depression are timeless and universal, teaching us about the power of community and collective effort. They remind us that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, when everything seems lost, the human spirit can prevail, finding ways to rebuild and recover. They inspire us to build a more just and equitable world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive regardless of their circumstances. The Great Depression may be over, but its legacy lives on, reminding us of the strength we possess. But its legacy lives on, echoing through the stories of those who lived through it and the lessons they passed down. It serves as a reminder of the importance of unity, empathy, and the power of coming together in times of crisis, and the unwavering belief in the human spirit which continues to inspire us to this day.